Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. It's 2022 and Netflix have been rolling out their new original films. This one's called The Wasteland. Let me know in the comments below, had you heard of this? Were you interested in this? What do you think is going to be your favorite Netflix original movie coming this year? Have you heard of any that you think, I'm really looking forward to that one? But is this one worth your time? Let's find out. The tranquil lives of a family isolated from the rest of society are disturbed by a terrifying creature testing the ties that bind them together. So first and foremost, I should say that Netflix's trailer and this synopsis is showcasing this film as a creature feature, and it really isn't that. It does do the less is more. If you think Aliens, where we only get to see glimpses of a creature, or we think we've seen a creature, and then in the end we have that all-out kind of creature monster fight. That is this film, sort of. But by the time you get to the ending, you're still left with an ambiguity, is it or isn't it? And I quite like that. So if you go into this film with that sort of mindset, rather than it being a true creature feature, then I think you'll enjoy it more. Because the cinematography in this, in places, is stunning. There is this very open space, but also very close, secluded feel to it. There's an ambience of just feeling uneasy throughout the film. Even when seemingly nothing is happening, there is this lore of this creature around, and it's kind of followed the family. Once you see it, that's it, that kind of thing. At the same time, they're trying to stay away from society because of a war, so everybody outside of their boundaries is evil, supposedly evil in the way that it just brings harm and death. So you just want to stay within the boundaries of your property. So what you get is a little kind of cabin house with people living off the land, a family, a husband and a wife and a son. And we focus mostly on the son and mother relationship. There's a bit to do with the father, but I really like the journey that these characters go on. At the beginning, the son is a very kind of scared kid because he hasn't really grown up to being a man. And through circumstances, he's going to kind of get forced into circumstances or situations that I guess will make you choose whether you're going to become a man or you're not. You're going to die. And so that is interesting to see what choices our kids make. There are a few choices that the mother makes in this film that I went, I'm not sure I quite believe that. There is also a journey that the mother goes on, which is very interesting. It's very psychological in nature. And it does do the jump scares, which don't work in this film, unfortunately. The scares that work are the slow panning zooms, or the MacGuffins that they use to create an atmosphere of scariness. There is like a tin can where you're listening to something, just as an example, and that creates an atmosphere, or a sound effect where the camera will tilt this way because our characters are looking that way, but you don't see anything, but you might hear something, or you might just see something out of the corner of the eye. It plays with that for most of the film, and so the ambiance is there. But once you get to the end, you may feel like that this ending hasn't really paid off, and then you still may feel like, was it or wasn't it? I think there's an argument to be made whether anything of this is real. And then you might shout at me when you reach the end of the film going, but Ruben, these things happened. And then my argument to that is like, but really, could you argue the opposite way without going into spoilers? Could you argue the opposite for both circumstances? I think some people will love that because sometimes ambiguity makes you question things, makes you wonder about the ending of the film, makes you thinking like, is it real, is it not real? It makes you ask all those questions, and sometimes people will find that really irritating. You just want a clear, defined ending. And you get films like these which are, yes, I kind of get where it was going. I also feel like the major theme of this film is conquering your fear. And so if it was just in their mind, or if it is about attacking fear physically or mentally, then this is a kind of growing up, almost a coming of age film, conquering your fears, but it's set in a situation that's quite dark and scary. Once again, I love the cinematography. I thought the acting for the most part was really good. I thought the kid was excellent in parts. He acted like I would expect a kid to react, sometimes very childish, sometimes trying to be the protector of the family, trying to stop his parents doing stupid things. There's multiple choices that along the way you go, yeah, he probably or would act like that in that circumstance. Also, there's a toilet outside in this film, and I'm so thankful for toilets inside. I never thought I would come away at the end of a film going, I'm really grateful for an inside toilet, not because of the cold, just because of the atmosphere the lavatory creates, the one that's outside in this film. I thought it was very, very clever. Enjoyed it. So I started with this film going, yeah, this is pretty good. In the middle, I was like, oh, I see what they're doing there. And then just after the middle, I was like, but is this all there is to it? Because it's a very secluded and very basic storyline. I do feel like it's going to split audiences, but I enjoyed it for the one-time watch, the cinematography, the idea of conquering your fear, and the acting. So I'm going to give it 3.5 Nicolas Cages out of 5. Let me know what you thought about this film. I do think it's going to have a mixed response. I didn't mind it as a one-time interesting watch. It's not a creature feature, though, in my mind. It's a psychological thriller with horror aspects, with gory aspects, with jump scares that don't work, but the scares do work in other places. Hope you find this informative. Let me know what you're looking forward to and what would you score this film. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.